Hi everyone, welcome to Tales from the Yawning Portal, where a bunch of nerdy ass guys stare at the camera and play Dungeons and Dragons. Important to remember, we're not affiliated with, endorsed, sponsored, or specifically approved by Wizard of the Coast LLC. I'm Fausto, I will be your DM tonight, and these are our players. Ben.
I will be playing Shisa, the Yawnty Pureblood Bardlock.
Kevin.
I will be playing Albis, the ever-changing wild magic sorcerer Eladrin.
And Eric.
Hey, I am Eric. I'm playing Skrulk, the rogue sorcerer.
Stan.
And I'll be playing Tarlin, the Drow Warlock Archaeologist.
And Davide.
Hello everyone, we'll be playing Nuada, Monk Shadarkai.
Yes, these are our heroes for tonight. And first of all, welcome back everyone. We've been missing for a couple of weeks, I think. Maybe
My
more.
fault. I had a serious case of the man flu.
The man flu? What is the man flu, Ben?
The man flu is a regular
How is it different
cold.
from a woman flu?
You knew.
Women have
worse.
stronger immune systems than me, and I have a Constitution 6.
Okay, very well. Not a paladin, clearly.
Now that we're back, let's start with a redemption already. We got a cheers from
Is it a
Yora.
cheers?
Hey,
Hey.
Cheers, dude.
I'm drinking the red stuff tonight. Cheers.
Cheers,
drinking
thank you for
tea.
being here, not abandoning us.
We still
Yeah,
love
we've
all.
been missing for some time, and so I thought, let's do something different today. As I was telling to my players. No, we will find out tonight what is there to do. But let's make a short recap, since I also barely remember what's going on. I think last we left...
Haven't you read
we
the
had-
blog, Fausto?
I did. In fact, I wrote it. So, so last we left, we were in Sigil, where our heroes have come back after recovering the third coin of Shadow Throne, the god of death. And they are now enjoying a well-deserved rest, spending the last few days that they have left in their miserable lives to, I don't know, spend some money,
Sell
What?
some things.
rock and roll, drugs, sex, I don't know,
Magical
Stuff.
items.
In
Magical
that
items.
order?
It's time to make some plans.
By the way,
together
Eric, just a quick question, Eric.
at the same time.
Yes.
Are you a Rogue 5 Sorcerer 2? I forgot to update the levels.
I believe I'm Rogue 6.
Rogue 6 Sorcerer 1. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, we're level 7. Is that true?
Yeah, we leveled up,
Yes.
man.
Okay. I can see that we're still 6 on the thingy. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question, because I'm
Ah, you're
currently
doing it
updating
now.
the graphics, yeah.
Yeah, we do things in progress here because that's how we roll. We can multitask. Okay, very well. Then yes.
So we're still in the tavern, right?
We were in the Yawning Portal. Maybe I will put you there. We're in the Yawning Portal, and if I remember correctly, we already kind of spent a day here. You are rested, you are all fine, and it's just time to make some plans.
How much would it be to just rent a lockable room for a month?
A lockable room for a month.
Yeah.
Well, every room that you rent in the Yawning Portal has a key, which will be given to you, of course. And if you want to pay for a full month in advance, including eating, that will cost you 2 gold per day, so more or less 60 gold.
Okay. No, I figure it might be useful to just keep my stuff there.
To keep your stuff there, yes.
I was under the impression
at least
that
first
maybe
the heavy
opportunities
stuff,
with
nothing
the-
First,
really.
first world problem for heroes in D&D is where I'm going to keep all the loot that I have stolen from someone else, so that they will not do unto me what I have done unto others. Very important. Huh? Where to keep the loot. So I guess you will rent a room at the Yawning Portal and just lock it there. So imagine, this little room you make some space in between, this little mountain of gold coins, the swords, the armors, the spears, the shields, and at least you can go through the space and eventually reach your bed. And
Might as well buy a house.
shall we go into real estate in Sigil? That's also an option. I mean, as you might expect, space in Sigil is
Just out of curiosity.
no, but that's a very pertinent
I
question.
think someone just crashed from.
Yeah,
the
see, Eric.
We dropped Eric.
Yes.
And I want a butler named Alfred.
Ulfrid, you mean?
Ulfrid, yes.
Ulfrid. Okay, very well. Then let me open and close a little brackets here. In other campaign that I play this vengeance paladin called Boris Wynn. and my symbol is the bat, and I have a butler, Ulfrid.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So Boris Wynn. And,
Nice.
So yeah. Actually, shout out to the West Marches people out there. If there is anyone out there, that's where I do that. Okay, so I was saying in Siege, as you can expect, thing is the place is all taken. There isn't really new buildings built because the whole surface of the donut has already been built on.
Yeah.
At the same time, rumor has it that the more important a household becomes, it just kind of naturally grows, and Siege also becomes bigger. Probably not your case at this moment, but if you do want to buy something that's already existing, there is certainly an option to do that.
But wait.
We do have a little bit more wealth, but we're not actually as wealthy as one might think.
Could we kind of start an order?
What?
Could we start like an order? Like you have those
The factions.
those factions. Can we
Yes.
start a faction?
What?
Okay, first of all,
Secretly
my first-
plotting against Shadow Throne cult.
my first answer to this is you can start whatever you like. That's not a problem. Huh?
Okay.
Clearly, what is important is that if you start an order or a new faction or a cult or a religion, yeah, I guess you must make sure that it's something that can attract a certain amount of people. In Sigil, as in the rest of the outer planes, what really matters is belief. The more people believe in something, the more it actually becomes real.
The order of the natural order of things.
The order of the natural order of things. I think it's bound to have success just by hearing the name. So, yeah, you can do that.
And the natural order of things is the god of death on its throne, on her throne. Not a usurper.
Are these the
How
talks that you're
about the
doing
order
while you
of the
are
natural 20?
while you are sitting at the table there at the
No. In our room. I wasn't.
No, because but these are absolutely legitimate talks. While you are there sitting at the Yawning portal, as you can see.
Yeah, but
in
not
fact,
too loud. Just among us.
but you can certainly hear other people talking mostly about this kind of topics. Philosophy, or not necessarily religion, but the nature of the multiverse and what is really important. Some beliefs are completely outlandish, so you could hear people talking about how the great yellow caterpillar is the true the true source of power.
Yeah, but the way of the natural order of things.
You could do that, absolutely. Yes. And it all started in the Yawning portal. People will talk about it. That can happen.
Of course, you don't necessarily have the support of your party members.
Excuse me? What? I don't necessarily have the support of who?
Your party members.
See, Nawad, you can speak about all kinds of gods if you like, but if they're going to interfere with my new empire, that is going to be a problem.
No, because your new empire is, I believe, part of the new natural order of things.
Okay.
Then we are set. Then we can do that.
Let me explain. There were always and will always be empires. They rise. They have their golden age and then their phase of decay. By the time the phase of decay reaches out, you'll be long gone, or you would have moved on to something else, to something even greater. It's part of the natural order of things. No empire lasts forever, Shisa. I mean,
Yes,
even
but they can
gods
be
can
reborn.
die. Uh,
Yes, exactly. There are other things in the natural order that eat gods for breakfast, so
exactly.
why would it matter to me which god of that sits on that throne?
It wouldn't. But it doesn't have to impede you from, I don't know, give some of your support, maybe to a greater cause. No, I have to be honest with you. I just hate the motherfucker.
All right. And you sold your soul to him?
No, I didn't.
I mean, you bound your soul to him?
No, I didn't.
Isn't that kind of the premise of this entire campaign?
What about that tattoo you have? What is that, on your shoulder?
What's it do?
There you go. That tattoo I have on my shoulder, yes, but that's all part of the plan.
I'm pretty sure that does bind your soul, but
At some
Yeah,
point, I
but
need to roll an
it's-
insight check against someone.
It's all part of the plan. Trust me. It will make sense when it's fully implemented and executed. Sure, yeah, I accepted to play the game, to go along and things like that, but I did all that with a plan. And like I said, I hypnotized myself to forget about the plan, only for the plan to be revealed at certain specific moments in time when some specific triggers activate my memory.
okay.
He's
But
a sleeper
remember
agent.
that you
Sleeper
were
agent.
hypnotized.
It's self-hypnosis. That I know as much.
So it's kind of like having a recessive past life under the surface trying to come forth.
Sure.
Because I can associate with that.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, don't you have a performance to prepare?
Yes, and you're my
Okay.
manager, so
Yes, let's get to work immediately. So, first of all, when is the performance? Tonight? Tomorrow? When is it?
That's
Okay,
a good
I would
question.
say, yeah, no, it's true. I would say a couple of days tops, like in case you need to prepare still some. Okay. Now, the one thing that was arranged in the previous time you were here in Sigil is you got a venue, so you got a place where you are going to perform. Do you remember what this venue was?
I have it in
Otherwise,
my
I will just repeat
notes.
it. What do you say?
I'd have to dig in my notes, but yeah.
No, okay, that's fine. I will just say the great one. So you got the place at the Civic in the Clerk's Ward. Maybe at this point we can go to the map of Sigil,
Mm-hmm.
also for our viewers. So in the Clerk's Ward, there is the Civic Feast Hall, which is also the
Oh,
the
where did it go?
headquarters of the Society of Sensation.
Hang on a
So
second.
Society of Sensations, who is responsible for everything that is artistic and cultural here in Sigil. It's organized and arranged by the Society of Sensation, also called the Sensates. You got a gig there to perform. You got this gig thanks to Bariaur, some kind of goat center, typical of the plains, called Anali Web Spinner. I don't know if you remember her, but she also, you had a Black Couch interview with her, and she agreed to let you perform at the Civic Festival. Your arrival has already been advertised by Haris Achit.
Yes.
Yes. You have paid him to make sure that your gig was advertised, so there should be a pretty crowd joining that event.
Was
And you
it
also know that you will be reaping part of the rewards of
the
of
profits?
those that count of the profits. Exactly.
Did you say the clerk's ward, or the
The
temple?
clerk's ward.
Okay.
Clerk's ward.
Yes.
Civic feast.
Down there, right where it says Fest Hall District.
Yeah. Probably that feast
That
hall.
that building.
Looking. Oh yeah, Feast Hall District. Yes,
Yes.
we got it for our viewers. There we go. Took a bit of fiddling, but I wasn't ready without Eric. So,
No, it's fine. It's okay.
has anyone got a
Uh,
message from Eric to see if he's coming back?
I have messaged him, but I think he's just completely offline.
He
Something
did say there was
like
some bad weather in his
Yeah.
area, so it may be related to that.
America, my friend.
Oh,
Okay. So, for the players here, you can see that in your handouts of 20, under Factions of Sigil, you should have one handout called Society of Sensation.
yes.
Yes. So there you can see a picture of the Civic Feast Hall. You can see the basic information about that civic faction. So things that you already know is a bit the philosophy of the Society of Sensation. To know the multiverse, you must experience it fully. The senses form the path to truth, for the multiverse does not exist beyond what can be sensed. Every faction you are starting to understand, what you will realize, not only has a headquarters here in Sigil and does a duty to the city, but also has some sort of home plane. Now, as you have probably got by now, the outer planes are the planes of belief, as we keep repeating, and so each of the factions is kind of tied to one of the other planes that you can reach via planes walking, so to say. The Society of Sensation is bound to the plane of Arborea, which is a plane where two very important things are situated. One is the home of the Seldarin, which is the elven pantheon that is venerated more or less, but basically in every world where there are elves. And one is Mount Olympus, which is the home of the Greek gods. As you might know, Greek gods are kind of very tied to the philosophy of the sensates. You know, they like to drink, they like to party, they like to impregnate women and create weird creatures all around. So, yeah.
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, Zeus has done it with
come on.
basically
Never heard of Zeus.
every breathing creature. He's fault for creating many monsters around the universe. Anyhow, yes, exactly, Miore. He has done everything. So yeah. Now you know when the gig is going to be. Is there anything else you would like to do before the night of the gig itself?
Yeah, like ingratiate ourselves with the sensates and try and attract an audience would be good.
Okay. As I was saying, part of this job, the attracting audience, you have paid an expert for this.
So he will get the audience.
Well, I mean, he has advertised you
Okay.
and your gig. In fact, especially in the place around the Civic Feast Hall, if you go and have a walk there, you will see that there is several scrolls affixed to walls and pamphlets. Here and there are little boys spreading these pamphlets to come and see Shista opera sing. Actually, yeah. Tell me something, Shista. What would be written on such a pamphlet? How would you present yourself to the crowds?
Shisa would present herself as Shisa, Queen Azuka Reborn.
Okay.
Queen Azuka being one of the ancient Yuan-Ti queens in the period before the Yuan-Ti became more and more abomination-like, and it was more just pure bloods. She is of the firm belief that Yuan-Ti should return to this ideal state of between snake and human.
But so is this what you're advertising on the pamphlet?
No, that's just the Queen Azuka Reborn, and then the opera will inform the audience.
She's gonna use the stage as a political statement.
Hey,
Hey man.
we should call you Greta. But okay, no. So, sorry. Excuse us, Swedish people around the world. And
I don't get that.
I don't get that. Man, climate changes.
Oh right, yeah, the
All
teenager.
right, you are the Swedish guy here.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Okay, so so you see this pamphlet where it's mentioned that Queen Shisa Azukali, a queen reborn, will entertain the crowd tonight with her mystical performance of scale and poison. And so there is been some there is certainly some buzz going around your performance. If there is something additional that you would like to do, that would be the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
One at a time.
Go
Tali?
ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, in the time we have before the show, I want to head back to the Takers to get reacquainted, and because I've been gone for a few days, I guess that we've been in that dungeon,
That's correct.
or
that's
a
correct.
week, maybe.
Yes, you have been. Yeah, you've been gone. A few days. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
you
I
slept a couple of times there.
Yeah, we did. So I would go back to the Takers, and at least until not long before the concert. I will make sure to get back to the concert by the time it will start.
Okay, so in case they're trying to do something to attract more people, you are not involved in this.
I'm not involved in that.
Okay,
no.
okay. Then okay, we'll just want to know what the other wants to do to attract people. Then we will go to Faded with you.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Okay. To attract more people, I would like to pay a few of those, people who go in places in bars like, oh, have you new show? She's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Pay them to talk a
spread
little
the
bit.
word.
Yeah. Spread the word.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do you want to pay people, or do you want to just start this yourself and try to make it avalanche?
I can store it
In fact, you can do
myself.
both things. You can
Exactly.
try to
Yeah.
talk people into helping you and
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
them to.
I think
easier for
I'll
you.
do both to have like a bigger result. I'll go to one part of the city and other
Okay.
one.
What's the kind of
Independence.
investment you would like to make?
About 200 gold pieces.
200 gold piece. Okay, so you go around, spread the word in
Yeah.
public places. Most probably, either the cleric ward around the feast district.
I removed them from my character sheet already.
That's very well done. That said, you can also roll me then either persuasion or performance check with advantage. The money and energy you spend.
Mhm. It's the
And
same.
actually, tell me what's the pitch? In fact, how do you sell her image?
As I would sell it as something you've never seen before, but that some others most ancient creatures might have.
All right. So
To echo something from a very distant past that's resurfacing, to really build up that mystery and unique tone of voice and character, and then really promote this whole aura around her, not just Chisa, but her aura, her presence, like really
Okay.
building up the icon, like doing posters, and then maybe a guy, I would pay one of those guys to go dressed like, like, I don't know if they have those kind of t-shirts in Sigil, not really t-shirt, but like, banners like, my goddess, blah, 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 but my goddess Shisa,
All right.
whatever, this
Okay,
kind
very
of
well. You're really okay, very well.
stuff.
Some might say that you are stepping a bit on the toes of Harry's ashes, but a bit of competition is always good for business.
Man,
So
I mean,
that's very well done, very well done. Okay, then make me your either performance or persuasion check with advantage.
it's the same, so
So-
hop. Yeah.
Roll again because it's with advantage.
Yeah. Why is it doing this weird stuff? Oh!
Ah,
Hey, well, that was a 15. Okay, very well.
Okay.
So yeah, you actually, it's kind of working. Sometimes you go in a place and they're already talking about this performance.
Mhm.
Clearly, you are creating some interest, and people are getting more and more curious about what this new artist is going to bring
Mhm.
to the sensates. You also, since you are going around and spreading word and listening also to people, make me also an insight check. Okay, very well. So you really catch what interests people, and since also you have said about the past and something they've never seen before, you do see that even though clearly there is expectation and interest about a musical performance,
Mhm.
clearly the crowd would like to see something with a deeper, higher meaning.
Okay.
Something that will make them, apart from admire the artistical side of it, then
Something they can relate to. They want to believe in something.
something they can discuss about.
Okay. I bring that information back to Shisa to prepare her show.
Very well.
all right.
Scroll and Obis, are you also interested in this? Do you want to do something about this, or you have other plans?
Everything working for me, by the way? I'm coming through good.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, we can see you. Yes. Okay, Obis.
We can see in here.
Okay.
Well, I certainly want to see what Shisa is up to, and maybe even help.
All right.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, so you are more like waiting for them to tell you something to do, or you have a
Depends on the season, right?
like more like a gaffer, like a. I mean, assistant. She says assistant.
Any of you
assistant.
dance or create illusions to create a magical environment for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe, or yes.
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can.
Can you
I can do
recreate
that.
something akin to the temples that we just visited?
Is major image enough for that?
Oh yeah, that would definitely be enough.
Major image would be very good.
You could do a lot with that actually, like with snakes and people and stuff.
So Shisa, from what I understand, people want something they can discuss and philosophize about.
Yes.
So
I can
Go
speak
for
about
it.
just as I am the reincarnation of Queen Asuka.
yeah, but more on what really matters to you, like the importance of remembering your origins and where you came from, and the importance to build upon that rather than this maybe state of decay that we live on day by day, but more of this, strong foundations on which you can build, more.
Yes, of course, I shall inform the people that they are all reincarnated spirits, that they should search within for their own inner yuan-ti, and together we can create a new dawn.
What have I done? Sure, let's go for that.
This could certainly work. Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, wait, a little question. How do you feel about religion in the yuan-ti thing?
Yes, well, see, we have these gods, and we're going
Please,
to
share
destroy
with
the entire world and universe, multiverse. However, they kind of do nothing but sleep all day and all night, and it's very dreary. I'm kind of ready for something new.
How about something you being a raven queen?
Like,
Nuada, the philosophical pimp.
like some kind of feathered serpent.
Raven snake.
A coatl.
A coatl, yeah. I was about to-
Exactly. Yeah. Let's work something out
I'm
here.
still listening.
My Raven Queen, your Yuanti, new foundation, strong beliefs. I'm sure. Think about the public. They want to philosophize about something. They don't want to be alienated in their own world. They want to believe in something higher than themselves.
Of course,
Rather than
me.
taking drugs and fucking all day for no meaning until they throw themselves off the ring out of despair of being insignificant, which most of them are, by the way. But we need to believe.
Look to the past to experience the future.
Exactly. With a foundation that keeps everything in balance, which is natural order of things.
I don't know much about this Raven Queen, to be honest.
Well,
How does it differ from that tentacle?
let me enlighten you.
Since you asked.
Since you asked. Fausto, can you help me with that?
Sure. Okay, well, the things that you know about the Raven are this. Okay, you know that she is the god. She was the goddess of winter, fate, and death. Death as the natural order of things.
Thank you.
Like, life begins, life is lived, and life ends. So she's actually a great, in great opposition with undeath and immortality, or people that try to extend their lives. What not everybody knows is, and that's something that we're now going into what Wada knows, but not necessarily everybody else in this group, so take it with a grain of salt. You know, being a follower of the Raven Queen, that there were some events in the past that put her at great risk. It was an assault from a demon lord called Orcus, managed to acquire something called a shard of pure evil. And with that shard of pure evil, he assaulted the Raven Queen, in fact to kill her and to steal her power. Now you know, among the followers of the Raven Queen, you know that a group of heroes acted to save her. But little did they know that among them, one of their own members, after defeating Orcus, he took the shard of pure evil for himself and he stabbed the Raven Queen with it. Now, he wasn't a demon lord, he wasn't yet a god, so he did not kill her. But he stole one part of her portfolio. And he stole the portfolio of death from her.
Oh, really?
And that
Who could this be?
You know who this is.
I know.
And so the Raven Queen became the queen of fate and winter, but she lost her purview over death.
Yeah. So you see why.
But I don't know if you want to share this, because clearly this is also
I'm
a clear sign that she has been weak and she has been defeated by someone.
not necessarily shared that little bit of information, although I'm sure can figure it out for herself. Maybe if not, maybe now, maybe later. But I mean, no, not in this way. What I would maybe steer this into is that belief gives power. Okay, if people can philosophize about the Yuan-Ti and we can rebuild this new base of belief, also directing people's thought towards the Raven Queen a little bit, it might power her up as well. It's like a win-win situation. I'm not. Keep my cut.
Yes.
Keep my cut, but
Yes.
give my thoughts to my queen.
But since you have had this thought, first of all, I would like to grant you inspiration.
Thank you.
Secondarily, you are starting to realize one thing. That, yes, you have made this pact with Shadow Throne, and you have asked a thing, right? If you fulfill your mission. You are starting to understand that most probably the path to get there is what will get you that thing. You're starting to realize that maybe to get what you want, you do not necessarily need the power of Shadow Throne, but you may reach that goal by yourself.
Okay.
And apparently you are, once on that way by saying what you just said and trying to convert as many people as possible to the Queen and all the rest.
Yeah. This is why I really need your help. And honestly, everything I earn, everything we find, everything we loot will be yours. And if I will help you build your empire. If you help me build her a new belief. It's a win-win, my friend.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Since the both of you are having this conversation then with each other, one thing that who less you are starting to understand is that clearly in the nature of the pact that you have done with Shadow Throne is that there can only be one of you that will get what he wants. But if you help each other reach these goals together, and if you really do not need Shadow Throne, then yeah, more of you may reach what they are looking for.
We can want exactly the same thing.
Man, if I could just turn into a dragon on my own, the fuck am I doing?
Well, I can turn into a snake, so anything's possible.
That's a fact.
He can have his empire, and he can also want that empire to be believers. In this case, I don't need to want anything. He's gonna want it for me.
The question is, what do Obus and Tarlin want?
For the moment, let's keep this between us.
Sure.
They might want the same thing over time. But I might need your help with that too.
You will all have an important place in the Empire.
Exactly. Think about it. Tarlin went to the Takers. We should study them more. Tarlin wants. Or Tarlin, man. You're not here. We're talking about you.
I'm not there, no.
As you're talking about Talon, let's go and see what Talon is doing.
Yeah.
Talon, you wanted to get yourself reacquainted with the Faded,
Yeah.
right?
If I'm not mistaken, their headquarters was also relatively close by.
So let me check the handout. It's here on Roll20. And in fact, the whole of records also in the clerk's ward. So not too far from the sensei. It should
Roll
be
the
a-
records.
Yeah, I see it on the map,
Tower.
just
Yeah.
There we
down
go.
Crystal Dew Lane.
Yes, very well. So when you go there, you see that actually the Hall of Records is big campus. You know what? I think I should have.
Yeah, I've been there once before. I stayed there for like a day, I believe, before we went to the dungeon.
Yes, if you look at your roll 20, I have put you on a map which is called
Yes.
Record.
Cool.
Yes. Now, the Holo Records grounds are on this big campus where there are 6 main buildings, round buildings. It is said that before this was the Holo Record, it was some sort of wizard's academy. Now, there are many legends about how the Faded managed to take this academy from the wizards and made it their own headquarters. The most famous being that the wizards did not pay taxes, and the whole place was taken from them. Now, the main building of the whole is, of course, the big central building, the Hall of Records. Just as a short description, you see that around it there is the faction dormitory. The Takers are one of the biggest factions here in Sigil, and it is said that the faction leader, Duke Rowan Darkwood, is gathering some sort of personal and private army, several thousand armed people that work and sleep in the faction dormitories. And in fact, there is even an academy of training, as you can see here to the south, where the Faded train to do what they do best, which is take stuff from other people. There's a faction hall where they normally gather to spread their word. There is the Hall of Property Records, which is the place where all the records of owns what are kept. And there is here a Hall of Census Records, mostly lists of who is who in Sigil. And then there is the Hall of Records itself, this huge, humongous, 340 feet tall, tower-like structure, where all the records of everything else are kept. The word goes that if it's not in the Hall of Records, it doesn't exist. And some people prefer it to be like this. In recorded history, there have been a couple of attempts from mostly anarchists to destroy the records and to kind of, clean the slate to start all over. Recently, apparently, some terrorist, a Githyanki wizard called Dark, has even managed to cast a fireball in one of the rooms of the Hall of Records. The person was apprehended and put to justice, in fact.
Good.
Yes. But yes, you can you go back to the Takers. If I remember correctly, you already knew somebody here. Could that be?
Yes, I've already spoken to someone and started my training.
I started in training. Okay, very well. Then, since you have already started some training, when you come back here, they will direct you to the Academy of Training, where you will meet a Gitzerai woman called Ryle Whitespoon. Gitzerais are this humanoid race. They are lean. Their skin is colored with the yellow tone. They don't really have a pronounced nose like humans or elves, but they more like two slits where their nose is supposed to be, and they have long, pointed ears. They are a sister race to the Githyanki that live on the astral plane, while the Gitzerai are original from the plane of Limbo, which is the plane of complete chaos. which one might imagine being a race of people living the plane of complete chaos, they must be completely crazy themselves. But it is actually kind of the opposite. Most Kitzerai, they actually strive for the perfect balance. And they kind of put themselves to the test by living in limbo where everything is chaos, and they bring order to the chaos of limbo by their very presence. So yeah, Ryle Whitespoon is in fact the head instructor there at the Academy of Training. You spend some time there, and they explain to you that you understand that to join each faction, some sort of requirements that need to be fulfilled. Now, joining the Takers requires a few tests, in fact.
All right.
They explain you that the first set of tests will actually resemble something to university exams. And they will they are actually designed to measure your intelligence. And if you would pass this test, you go on to the physical. Now, when you do you express your intention to join the faction?
Yes, I do.
Very well. Then they actually kind of assign to you sort of tutor, which will give you a list of texts that are important to have studied if you want to join the Takers. Mostly these are titles that not specifically to the laws of the city, but you soon understand. In fact, make me either an insight or a history check.
All right.
Okay.
Of
You understand. Yeah, that's good. You understand that these texts aren't really about learning the law, but are about abusing the law. So how to make it so that by legal means you can take as much as you can from the city, from other people, and even though they do not agree that order would be on your side, law would be on your side, and you can take. This will require some study. Now, the maximum time limit that they give to prepare yourself for this test would be 3 days. But they also make it clear to you that if you decide spontaneously to take the test before the 3 days, this will go to show how much you care about this. And the main philosophy of the Taker has been take what is yours because you deserve it more than the other. Multiverse belongs to those who seize it. And no one is to blame for your own fate but only yourself. So if you can show that you are better than the other, this will clearly go a long way to ensure your membership with the Takers.
Yes. Yeah, how much text would that be? More or less?
Okay, if you spend the whole afternoon and night going through it, and depending on
I think at night there's the concert, right?
That is
so
a fact.
I would head to the concert and can return later.
Okay, this is something that you think, right? Not say to the guy.
No, I'm not saying that to the guy.
Clearly, if you would say to him, I can't study tonight because I have to.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, very well. Even your father would complain about that. So, but okay, they will give you the text. They give you the list of the text. But you notice they do not give you the text themselves.
Right.
They just give you this kind of like, parchment.
Okay. Yeah, let's head for the Hall of Records then and see. What does it list with the text name? Does it just list a name, or
It lists
does
the
it list-
title, and a short, not really a synopsis, like the thoughts of Elvinar, and then it's written a small treatise on how to abuse house law.
Okay. Yeah, let's head for the Hall of Records and see how exactly things are organized there.
Okay. Did you go here by yourself, or did somebody else?
I was there to register with Harry Hatches.
No, I mean right now, like in.
Oh, right, no, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Water
I
and I
think
are
I
back.
went alone.
You went alone. Okay, very well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scroll, you were saying?
No, I was just agreeing. Like, yeah, I didn't go either.
Okay, very well. So yeah, when you go to the Hall of Records, you see that up there directing people around. You see that there is a big crowd gathered around a dwarf.
All right, let's.
And this dwarf, is like on both his left and right. There are other two. It seems to be like his assistant in a certain way, and there is a long line of people waiting to talk. Or everybody, someone gets there. He not very kindly tells them a few words, or sends them on their way, and things like that. So he seems to be somebody in the know.
All right, yeah, I would approach that crowd.
Okay, so you want to stay there in the line?
Actually, no. This is the taker, so I'll see if I can cut the line.
All right. Do you just go there physically and cut the line, or do you have a way of doing it?
Let's just. Sure, I will Misty Step my way down the line.
Okay. Okay, very well. Roll me an Arcana check.
A 17.
All right. So you're there in the line. Then suddenly you bounce away from your position and cutting through the line. Your knowledge of the Arcana, you manage to do this in a pretty inconspicuous way. And basically, the person that you suddenly appear in front of someone, he looks at you like, "Wait, were you there before?" You kind of fool him. He's not so sure of what just happened. But you do manage to get to the front of the line, and you are introduced to this dwarf. His name is Aram Oakwright. I will put it on the chat. Aram Oakwright.
Okay, he introduces himself. Name?
Well,
or...
basically, the clerks well, first they ask you who you are.
Tarlin Bain.
Tarling Bandar. Okay, very well. And he says, and they say, you have the honor of being in the presence of Aram Oakwright, factotum of the Faded.
Wonderful to meet you, factotum Oakwright.
He says, licking my ass will not bring you very far away.
Good. I'm here to collect some books for my studies.
I see. Do I look like the librarian to you?
No, you don't, but perhaps you seem like you know your way around here.
Of course I know my way around here. And you wanna know why?
Why would that be?
Do you wanna know who told me?
I'm sure no one did.
He smiles. He says, exactly. There is only one way to find your way, and it's to find your way your own way. You get me, Tarling Bandar?
Yes, I get it.
Remember, at the end of the day, all those that help you want something in return, which is completely their right. And every time you help someone, you make sure they pay the price for it. Now, Talib
Of
Bender,
course.
if I help you, do you think you have anything that you can repay me with?
I don't believe so. If you were to help me, I wouldn't have earned my place here.
You are already one step nearer to earning your place here, Talib Bender. You know what the next step is?
To find my way around here and get those books.
Do you want me to point you in the right direction?
If you do wish to point, you're more than welcome to.
He points away from him. Not here, says he.
Good advice. My appreciation.
He says, wisdom I give away freely.
Have a good day.
And to you, sir.
Yeah, I will head in the direction that he pointed and have a look around to see if I can understand some of how this hall is organized.
All right, Stalin. If you had asked it, it would have been easier. Since you have decided to do it by yourself in true fated fashion. First of all, you have inspiration. But secondly, you can try and make an investigation check to see if you manage to find these books in these halls.
Okay. I will use my inspiration right away on that investigation check.
All right,
So that's an advantage, right?
that's correct.
Okay. An 18.
Nice. Okay, so you see that you make your way around the whole record. The place is really huge, and there are several floors, records and scroll and books all around. Not an easy thing to find your way in this place. But you think that with your 18, there is like 5-6 stacks that you have to find. You kind of find most of them except for the last one, which is called The Prince.
The Prince. And does
Yeah,
it say anything else?
It says, first of all, it says about it's a certain Niccolò Machiavelli. And it's apparently a treatise on political backstabbing. Though you do not seem to find this where it's supposed to be, though eventually through investigation and looking around and talking to people without ever clearly asking their help, you eventually are directed one of the more noted historians here in the old records, who is a woman by the name of Brigitte Gunnarsmoen. Clearly, when they told you that she's a woman, they omitted a particular. She stands at least 6 meters tall. Her skin is blue like ice, and her hair is white as snow, and she's a frost giant.
Yes.
Yes. And you see her there, not really sitting at one of the desks at the libraries, but kind of like sitting, like with her legs crossed, and with this, she has this big lens on her hand. There she has teeny tiny book in her hand, and she's reading with this thing in her hand. When she's sitting cross-legged, she's probably like only 2 times as
So how many other books do I still have to read?
you only miss one, and you have the impression that that's the one that is in her hand.
Yeah, but how many books do I already have to read?
You already have 4 books.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll greet her. Good day, ma'am.
She doesn't seem to have heard you.
Good day.
She this time she does seem, and she moves her face away from the magnifying lens, and she looks down at you literally, and she says, "Why would it be a good day?"
Because I lay my eyes upon you.
She looks at you. She says, "Do you understand how small you are?"
Oh yes. Compared to you, I definitely am. I'm not disputing that.
I see. Well, why do you address me, Sir
Beindar.
Bendar? Are you also fated?
Attempting to become.
Hmm.
I couldn't help but notice the book you were reading.
The Prince, she
Yes.
said.
Yes, exactly.
One of my favorites.
You have read it before then?
I have, many times.
Okay. And what is your favorite part?
My favorite part is when he explains how, at the service of a prince, he was the true power behind the throne.
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Tell me, Talin, why do you want to be a fated?
I've grown tired of seeing the weak run too much of this world. I feel like I deserve to take what's my part.
That makes much sense to me. It is so. The multiverse belongs to those who take it.
Exactly.
So why do you come here to me?
Yes.
Bendar?
I was hoping to have a chance to read this Prince as well. Sounds like a book I could definitely learn more from.
It is indeed a book from which you will learn much. Then again, now I am reading it. Would you like me to give it to you?
I'm not trying to interrupt your reading, of course, not more than I already have.
I have read it many times, so I would not mind to give it to you. Then again, if I do give it to you, you will owe me.
Understood. I wouldn't expect any less from one such as you.
Very well. Then we have a deal.
A deal indeed.
She closes the little tiny book. She puts in your direction, and it's not tiny at all. And she says, when you will be fated, and I will see you again in this hall, Talin Bendar,
Yes.
I will ask you for my reward.
and I will not hesitate to hand it over. As
Very
is
well.
your part.
Now, she starts to stand up. Step aside, lest I squash you.
Sure enough, I step back.
As she starts to leave the hall. You have successfully acquired all your books. Now all it takes is to read them, learn them, and make papers tomorrow. Well, or whenever it is that you want to go. And fill your exams.
Yeah. I will start reading already. And,
You will start reading already. Okay.
I figure as long as I have time before the concert, at least.
Okay, very well. So you spend your afternoon and first part of the evening reading stuff. You can make me either a history or an insight, adding your intelligence instead of your wisdom.
I'll roll a history.
Go for it.
I still had
That's okay. I will take the
on, but
first.
it's 21.
21. Okay. Talon, maybe it's the fact that you really, really like you are eating through books like it's comic books, and you think you've done a lot of advances here. Now, if you want to read them all in one afternoon, that 21 would not be enough. But you think that if you would spend the night here, you could manage to finish all, and even tomorrow morning take the test.
I'll finish reading tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Miss Shista's
Okay, very well. Then, as you're here reading the books, let's go back to the senseis. Or actually, Skrolk and Olbit. Is there anything specific you would like to do in meanwhile? Skrolk, did you get any hint of something that might hint among the factions? Are you like not interested at all in the faction?
I'm interested in them. It's just I'm not quite sure which one would fit.
Okay.
They're all very interesting.
Would you like some more information about a specific one?
Before we do have some redemptions.
All right.
Cheers from Xilium. So cheers.
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 Actually, I got an advantage from Mjorre. I think I missed it a while ago because it says I would be needing it soon enough.
All right.
But maybe I'll still.
You will still need it, my friend. Don't worry.
Yeah. So cheers.
Hey, people are enjoying that we're back. Nice. As for the factions that I was kind of looking at, I was actually thinking about joining the Black Cabal.
The
or maybe
Bleak
Aethar?
Cabal.
Yeah, Bleak Cabal. My bad.
Yes. No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, the Bleak Cabal. Would you like to know more about the Bleak Cabal?
Yeah.
Very well. So while Shisa is Shisa and Wada are busy with her show, and all this, you're also helping out, right? Personal assistant of Shisa or something.
Depends on the weather, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly.
It depends on the weather. Yeah.
The
Okay.
season.
Would you like to accompany Skrolk at Cabal? Is he going by himself?
I don't know anything about this Bleak Cabal. Maybe I should.
It sounds quite bleak.
I believe we also met a recruiter of the Bleak Cabal on our very first day in Sigil.
It could be. It could be.
I remember speaking to one of them, and they told me about.
Okay.
Yeah, they told me about like some asylum or something that I should go to.
That is correct. So when you ask instruction about Cabal, you are directed to the gatehouse.
Sure, let's go.
The gatehouse, which is located at the very edge of the hive, so it's one of the worst part of the city. Basically, you see this long line of people going to the gatehouse. The gatehouse itself, I will show you a picture of it also. Yes, a picture should have appeared in your handouts. It's this huge building built a bit like a two wings sides, with a courtyard in the back, all surrounded by a fence. And the fence is mostly not to avoid that people come in from the outside, but to avoid that people that are inside get out. You realize that the gatehouse is actually an asylum for the sick, mostly for the mentally sick. The long line of people that are waiting in front of the main building are all people that are about to be guests of this asylum. In fact, you see that most of the people in line are not there because they want to be, but they are they are held by the arms or legs, even by other people, probably their family, that are about to send them there. There's a cacophony of sound of crazy people waiting in line as burly clerks accept those that arrive, and some of them they bind with some sort of weird jackets that with which you can tie your hands behind your back, something they call straight jacket. And
What are these strange contraptions
Perfectly
that these
done.
people keep coming up
it's
with?
the latest fashion in Sigil, in fact.
Where I come from, the only fashion we had were traps
Yes.
and pelts. Everything is changing.
Though you do notice that there is also an amount that are freely walking the line to go and enter and be admitted to the place. And not too far from that long line, you see a different line that goes to a side building. That is going to some kind of it's like a chicken poor, people that cannot eat cannot provide by themselves. The Bleak Cabal, they also provide this kind of service. Probably the best way to know something, instead of speaking with the clerks that are there admitting the crazy people, it's to speak with those that handle the kitchen for the poor.
Yeah, sure.
And you actually see, if you present yourself within the line for a while, and when they eventually can also give you a bowl of gruel and some hard bread, there's this a tiefling.
Of course, it's a tiefling.
Yeah. Who actually doesn't seem to be bleak at all. He seems to be quite cheerful. And as he sees you there, he looks at you. Hi, little fellow. What brings you here?
Actually was told to come here by some dude I met not too long ago, actually, right before I left off for another mad adventure. I was interested in what was going on here.
Ha! He says, this is the headquarters of the Bleak Cabal. I think you would fit right in here.
Oh, I'd be pleased to hear why. He did give me like a bowl of gruel and like some hard bread, right?
Yes, he does. And looks, take it. Take this gruel.
I'll take it. I'll just start stuffing it in my mouth. Don't bother me.
Oh, you seem to have a great anger. Isn't that a great hunger? Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, where I come from initially, this is about what we need anyways. So.
Where do you come from?
Some small mountains over in Faerun. It's kind of destroyed now. Adventurers came in, murdered a bunch of people because they don't understand culture.
Oh, murder. Isn't that always a wonderful thing?
Depending on who's being murdered, as long as it's not me, sure.
Yes, of course, of course. You'll be doing the murdering, right? Do have that murdering streak in your eye. I was a murderer myself. Murderer
Oh,
myself.
you've murdered.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Ha 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 ha.
So, tell me, who's in charge here? Anybody I could speak to?
Who is in charge here? It is a wonderful question. It is a wonderful question. He says, as all the other great factions, not that it matters, we also have a factal lar. As you might imagine, he's the craziest of them all.
Kind
Yes.
of a mad king. At this point,
yes.
he's probably just like finishing off the gruel.
But
Hands
what
it
is
back.
important to understand is this, and I think you already know a bit. Mad, not mad, it doesn't matter because nothing matters. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, mostly, yeah. You just do whatever you feel. That's what I do. Unless
Yeah.
people tell me to do something, then sure, who cares?
And isn't
I
it
mean-
wonderful waking up some days and just not wanting to do anything at all?
Never had that feeling.
You never had that feeling? I mean, why do something when nothing has a meaning? And he keeps
Right.
smiling while he talks about this stuff.
Skrulk is perplexed, to say the least. Like he's kind of got this look of like, I can kind of get what you're going on about, but at the same time, I'm a little scared.
Yeah, everybody gets that feeling once in a while. You know what I do when I get that feeling? I go to the gatehouse and I do a session.
A session.
Yes, they sit out all around and they make us talk like it means something. But we're just, going through the motions because nothing means anything. But hey, it brings my smile back. Look at this. And he smiles at you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this sometimes?
I usually don't think about that stuff. I'm normally being shot at by arrows and fireballs.
Not thinking. That is a wonderful feeling.
Obelisk, who came with me? Someone came with me, right?
I did, and I'm just standing there perplexed, like I don't even know what he's talking about. What?
Your friend here. He seems to be also meaningless.
Exactly.
Hey, Obelisk, tell him about how you constantly do the gender shaping thing.
Well, I don't know how it works myself, so
Just tell him what it feels like. At this point, Skrulk is just slowly slinking back as he's diverting attention.
well, you see, the thing is, I seem to have lost my friend.
Yes, friends, they always leave because they realize that friendship has no meaning. It's like sanity, Only the sane can prepare for insanity.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, do
Would
I
you
need
like
to roll
some
a wisdom
soup?
saving throw?
Would you like some soup?
First of all, I want to know which season I was in because that's gonna.
That's gonna, yeah.
I love
From
this
the tone,
faction
I thought you had decided
God.
already.
Oh God.
Which season are you in?
I am summer.
You're summer, so you're very positive. Right?
No.
No.
I'm very fiery.
Okay, very well.
Pent
He's
up
angry.
anger.
Okay.
Don't punch this dude in the face.
So you're there.
I just look at him. I just look at the soup, and I'm like, Go to the abyss with your soup, and I get out of there.
You seem to be angry. Maybe you also need a session.
I
Shout
leave.
after you. Yeah.
Once all bliss is gone, Skrull will kind of just like rejoin from wherever he was hiding. Like,
Okay.
well, that was
And where
interesting.
did you hide off to?
Yeah, look. The guy did not seem like he was gonna let us go, so you dealt with it.
Okay, but stay close to me. I need to protect you.
Oh. That's kind of cute. Okay.
Skrull kind of opens his mouth once or twice. That's it. Just snaps his fingers and points at him like, yeah, didn't expect that. You want to go sit on one of their sessions, or you just want to head back? Because it can only get better.
I'd rather head back. I think
Fair enough.
we've lost enough time here.
Fair enough. I guess we'll head back.
Right. So we have looked around the city, studied, visited factions headquarters. I think we can, unless there is some more preparation you want to do, we can move on to the show.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
This show must happen.
Okay, very well. So the evening of the show arrives. Now,
I'm
how
excited.
how do you guys and gals go to the show? Do you
Oh,
go
I
in your
need.
normal, adventurers clothes? Do you want to do something special for the
Oh
occasion?
my bling.
We cannot see her get in the thing. She has to be a ghost. She has to appear on the stage like magically.
Okay, so she said you will tell us last scene dress in. Okay.
Nice. And Skrull doesn't know if he's going to be in the show at all. You would probably at least chip out a little bit of money to get some nicer clothing, because he's still kind of always worn this like rugged outfit that he's just always had.
Squawk, you will be the bouncer.
Excuse me.
That was a joke. No, very good.
I was about to
You will be
say.
bouncing all around.
Skulk's probably got like this nice like black tuxedo kind of thing going on.
All right.
But something that you could easily miss in the shadows of people's shadow.
Okay. I would like everyone to keep this image in their mind of a cold tuxedo. Fun art is well.
It's probably got like a few tribal bits on it as well, like an old bone mask from like his old tribe.
Okay, it's like King T'Challa or Eddie Murphy in the Prince is Looking for a Wife, something like that. Okay.
Stuff with New York.
Yeah.
Welcome to America or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming to America, yeah.
Coming to America. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's a tuxedo, but with tribal bits, little rats got here and there, like your how do you call it?
Bracelet?
No. In Italian it's gemelli. Davide, help me out.
Wings.
Yeah,
Cufflinks.
to it.
Cufflinks.
Yes.
Cufflinks.
Yes.
And he has a carry-on crawler hat.
And again.
Yes.
With the carrion crawler hat. Okay.
You should have like one of those, eau de forme hats that's actually as big as him.
Nah, would draw too much attention.
Okay,
Smaller
well. So, so you're going to be like a guest bouncer, as Wada said, a performer.
I'm just gonna slip right into the crowd.
In the crowd. Okay,
Literally.
Totally not gonna steal stuff from people and slip away.
I completely understand. Albus, how are you going there?
I will first actually go to Shisa
Yes.
and ask her what she would like me to do during the performance. Because we need to take action, and I need to know what there needs to be done.
Can you do illusions?
I can, but what are you thinking of exactly?
Well, you can be a backup dancer. You can be in charge of music, accompaniment. Yes. Or you can be a part of the props and backgrounds.
You're a prop.
I will use my hats of disguises.
All right.
Or mask rather, and I will turn into some kind of UNT purebloods.
Okay.
No, you shall start as a human, and that way I can show the magical transformation to the superior form.
Exactly. But
I like your thinking.
first a raven comes by.
Yes, that
Then-
is where Tarlin might step in with the illusions.
Yeah.
A
So I
raven
figure
serpent,
around
yes.
this time I would also be arriving back to the.
Sure. So Albis, you're going to be a human, so you're going to be in the show, in fact.
Yes.
Okay, very well. Tarling, what about you?
I'm willing to assist with. Well, I'm not a real illusionist, but I have some minor illusions,
Okay.
which I can assist with.
Oh, I thought you had the full illusion.
I have the
Um,
major image.
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
that's
minor
you then.
illusion,
Yeah.
dancing lights, fairy fire, small stuff like.
Can you
Alright.
use major image at the same time that you also act? Obus.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Good, excellent. I can do some minor illusions myself. But yes, the lights, very good, yes. And we must have this feathered serpent-like figure. Dark though, right, yes?
I could actually turn my lights into a dancing serpentine creature.
Yes, but not as many tentacles as you usually like.
No, not.
Save that for the after party.
Sounds good.
All right. What about you, Noada?
Me, I've been busy already seeding ideas everywhere. So,
Are you going to be in the public, or are you going to be like behind the...
I'm covering all the, like some sort of writings, paintings, whatever, symbolism, old symbolism from Shisa's culture mixed with the Raven Queen, all together. And I'm really like my calligraphy art of the Kensei to do this whole beautiful kind of background collage, whatever you want to name it, calligraphy shit.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, right. What's that condescending? Yeah, right.
Well, what I could also do is cover the stage into magical darkness before the show and have it dissipate when you enter.
Oh yeah, and before there was nothing, and from darkness it emerged.
Whatever timing works best.
Okay, actually, would you like to discuss how this show is going to be, or do you want to improvise it while we are doing it?
My inspiration point I had earlier has to go into the show to make sure everything goes right.
Of course, of course.
It depends if you want to have me plan it out beforehand and spoil how it goes and just resolve it with a roll, or if you want me to make it unfold as
we're absolutely going to play it out. The role will be the last thing. So we will. So, do you want to have a program, or just go freeform while you do it.
Yeah, we need really to tie it together.
Because I like the idea of the darkness that Tallink said.
Yes.
That could work, but I guess
We start with the
Yeah,
darkness.
I guess you should
Okay.
have, like probably not the night of the show. You had a production meeting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I guess when you gather information about what everyone can do, and do the
Yeah.
show.
Exactly.
So
I will need someone to retrieve my jewelry at the end.
Scroll? That's true.
Not
you
Stroke.
are the gaffer.
Where would your jewelry be at the end?
It shall be on the stage, of course, after I make my great exit.
So, while the whole city is watching the show, we're going
Because
to.
it's just some
The
jewelry I could magic hand it.
I could also imagine.
It's a heist.
That's exactly what I was thinking of this as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I'm going in the crowd. I'm just gonna start pickpocketing people.
The whole evening is gonna be a fucking heist.
Mhm.
Sure.
If I see an
Sure, let's-
opportunity, I'm gonna take it. I just want
Yeah,
money.
exactly, Scroll. You understand me. If you see an opportunity, take it.
Mm-hmm. Just saying, if I see a coin purse, magic hand tap the shoulder, yoink.
Yoink.
I hear of a nice, pretty little area I can sneak into. Let's go sneak into it.
Right. No, seriously though.
Yes. So
So, we start with the darkness. What emerges from the darkness?
Yes.
A
with-
human
No.
human version of Obelisk, and then through some nice use of illusionary, we could have Chisha kind of transform from Obelisk to show the kind of like perfect change into the best being you can be.
Yes, we must have some mist as well, rolling across the stage, and from it I shall rise. as
What about some sort of hero's journey? The transformation not
Yes.
happen immediately. It happens gradually,
Yes,
with a moment of realization.
yes. Obis is just a weak, measly human. We show the transformation made possible through the power
Nothing
of...
personal, all this. It's just for the show. Because I see your face.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta act like you're worse than you are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am not one of those thinking humans, so
course
why would I take offense to this?
You shouldn't.
You sound like wood elves from the Elven Armada.
other campaign. I like this. So what's the plan?
We have this darkness there, and we hear this sort of birthing cry, something that is actually born, a little formless. We have this mist slowly taking shape into a man, exactly like you said, but it's not completely formed yet. It's still a little deformed, doesn't know what it is. And
No,
then
no.
No,
This
no.
isn't about Obis, it's about me.
Exactly. It's true. It's about
Obis
you.
comes later,
Okay. Oh, so you come first. Okay.
of course.
Then-
I come out of the darkness, a mist. And
Exactly.
My
Then you come out of the
disembodied
darkness
voice sings the tale as it unfolds. And I shall
I
come
like
to the
that.
point
Yeah.
where the wayward human is searching for something more. And then he will come and he'll be like,
Is that a monkey? What is that?
no, he's
I
dead.
mean, we
That
did
was
say
my
human, didn't we?
And the story will continue about how I shall rise people up, and hidden within them is another power that they must explore from their last life into their next. And then the Raven
Yes.
Queen comes in somewhere.
What? Somewhere. Oh wait.
Well, this is where you come in.
Exactly. It's some sort of driving force. It's like a hand that strongly helps you achieve your goal. fate helps you achieving your goal, and 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 terminates, kills wipes clean the old world to give rise to your new empire.
Yes, the new one. Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. Yes is no. Yes is the new no. Yes. Yes.
What is this?
Yes.
The beginning of Far Cry 5?
The question is whether or not to include the
Yes! Yes! Yes!
perhaps.
Question.
Yes.
Yeah.
These visions I've been receiving, do I know what this thing looks like?
You saw in this starry sky an emptiness shaped like a blade, like a sword.
So I could create an illusion of me carrying this blade as if I see it in my future.
Sure.
I'll add that into it as well.
All right.
Actually, no. I'll make a myth around it. So when I retrieve this blade, that is the time for the Empire to rise.
All right.
Myth building.
Very well. Very well. Okay. Do you
Minor
think you
illusion.
have more or less an idea of how this is going to be?
Yes.
Very well. Okay. Then the only thing I miss is to know, Nwada, how you are.
I'm dressed as a raven.
What do you mean exactly?
How I'm dressed, like to go. Yeah, I thought it was going to be on the stage, but no. Okay, fine.
No, you can be in the stage. Yeah, sure, of course. I mean, and you're dressed like a raven, like a giant raven.
Nah, I'm like super traditionally dressed, like strict. Like
I mean, you could be dressed like the raven equivalent of Batman, like Birdman, but black.
Sure, let's go.
Whoa!
But classy.
But classy, yeah. Or maybe just a domino mask, like. Okay,
Or
yeah.
perhaps you could just do some interpretive darts.
A thingy. What's a plague doctor mask?
A plague, exactly. That's what I was thinking. A plague doctor.
Yes,
The entire
cloak
thing
of
is
black
just a giant masquerade.
and a cloak of black feathers.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very edgy. Yeah. It was.
If we can get enough people to turn up to this event with masks, we can turn this into a murder mystery halfway through.
Okay, so
And we pin it all on Shadow Throne. I like it. That's
No,
yeah.
Let's
Very
not get ahead of
important.
ourselves.
Does this performance have a title?
The Great Rebirth?
Yeah.
The Great Rebirth.
The rebirth of Shadow.
All right, the rebirth of Shadow. Okay. So the moment comes. You are at the sleep. If you look at your 20, you will see that I've put you on the map of the Civic Feast Hall. The Civic Feast Hall is a gigantic building where there is mostly several theaters which can guest different performances on the same night. You see that on the night of Shisa there is many other performances going on. A lot of other guests also not only come to see you. In fact, the theater that you have been assigned, the Elouette Theater, if you see it down on the right, that is the one. You see in the courtyard in front of the Elouette.
Really, the smallest one.
That is one of the two. Yeah. It is your first gig, we must admit. but there is a bigger crowd outside in the courtyard and outside the feast hall. You know that apart from entertainment and shows and theater and dance, there, now that you are getting a bit more acquainted with the sensei, you have not yet officially joined the faction, right?
And I have started the process of initiation, I believe.
Okay, so it is your intention to join, right?
Yes.
Okay, very well. Because I believe, differently from the Faded, where you have to make a few tests, to join the Sensei, all you need to do is wanting to be one of them. Basically, the requirements of the Sensates are nothing at all. Most probably, your first show will be your initiation to the ranks of the Sensei, which will mark your real beginning in the faction. That said, you start to understand by being a bit more with Sensates that apart from these shows, as I was saying, Sensates also offer another very important service, which is the sensorium. So here in the middle of the place, there is a special room covered with many crystals, all of them inserted in little alcoves. And these crystals are a special magical item that can record the experiences of those that focus on the crystal, and then allow those that touch the crystal to relive those experiences.
Oh,
So in fact, it is very important once you join the Senseis that you periodically go back to the Sensorium and, how shall I say, upload your experiences in the archive of emotions and experiences for all the Sensei to enjoy. And it is an unspoken truth that Sensei kind of dare each other to upload the most exciting sensation into the crystal, and they always try to outdo themselves. Also very important to never transmit a sensation that is less intense than the previous one. Like if once you flew on the wings of a dragon and you transfer this sensation, if the day after you fly with your own wings or with some kind of magical carpet, well, that may be considered a lesser experience, right? So it will be bad form to go there and share that kind of sensation. So one of the main thing of the sensei, once you have tested something, experienced something, try to outdo yourself. In a spiral of debauchery, it can only end with your death. That said, the show will be about to begin. People will gather. As I understand correctly, then the only person that is in the crowd is Skrulk. Okay, very well. Skrulk, you being the only person there in the crowd, well, you probably have a good seat because you know your friend is performing, and you see that sitting next to you. I'm not completely sure if you have met this guy or if you remember him, but there is this nicely dressed human. He has long brown hair and a tight ponytail, and he has a goatee and mustache, you know, a bit like a musketeer in a way.
This is the guy who first approached Shisha, isn't it?
That can be, yes. Also remember that he only introduced himself as the gentleman.
Ah, no, yes. The
Yes,
art
I
broker.
remember.
What do you say?
The art broker.
That is correct. Yes. And when he sees you there, Scroll, sitting just next to him, by pure coincidence, he looks at you and he says, "Oh, I see. Still in Sigil, are you?"
Wherever the group goes, I go.
That
Just
is
happen to be
very
considerate.
that is very important to have friends.
Scroll gives a big toothy grin. It's like, I just hope it goes well.
Because actually, it is an important question. Do you trust your friends?
Well, of course. I had to rely on them to keep me alive in dungeons. I trust them fully.
That is very important. I understand that you have returned from your last voyage with a few choice items. Am I correct?
We come back with so much stuff, I couldn't tell you. Jog my memory on what you might be looking for, and I could tell you.
We do
Well,
have a number of them. Yeah.
Maybe you might not remember. My employer, it's a purveyor of fine items, and she's always very interested in not only in acquire items of a certain rarity, but in enlisting the service of those that can procure them.
We found a few magical items.
Oh, really? Well,
Scroll
if you-
will show him kind of like the bracelet of rock, or whatever it was called. Bracelet of rock magic.
with a fine item. Maybe we should arrange the meeting after all of this is done.
Please do. I'd be interested,
Yes.
as long as they can pay.
He says, money is really no issue. I can assure you.
Well, then
At the same time, I have found out in my years in the service of my lady that the most precious things require an elevated level of danger to be acquired.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But you're not the kind of group that shies away from danger, are you?
I remember at one point fighting we ran into a Quetzal whatever. Who's it at one point? Weird serpent thing. Tombs full of undead, this and that. Danger kind of comes with the job.
I am glad you think like this. I think we will have a profuse business relationship then.
Well, you know how to get in contact with me. My friend is performing tonight.
Yes, I know how to find you. You see that as you're in this conversation, some other nicely dressed person arrives at the same place bar, and he looks at the gentleman. And he goes like, I think you're sitting at my place, sir." And the gentleman stands up and he says, "My apologies. I was just leaving." And he starts to leave.
How nicely dressed is this individual?
He's very nicely dressed. He seems to be either a noble or a rich merchant, or maybe a high-level faction clerk.
The new one or the old one?
The new one.
Okay.
Anyway. I'm not gonna rob from the guy who paid you to do this, or you paid him to do this. But I might rob this guy. He's looking like a dandy.
Yeah, he looks kind of. He looks. He's very finely dressed. His skin has a bit of a dark complexion. He has a wide girth, in fact, very well, and he has this big symbol, the sun, on his chest, all in gold, and it seems actually magical. Yes.
I'll gesture to the seats like, sorry that my friend took your spot.
No, that is no problem. He says that is no problem.
Well, the show's gonna be a doozy, so get
Oh,
comfortable.
I'm sure it will be. What is your name?
They call me Shadowclaw. Nice to meet you.
I am Abdul Fatwaif. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Great to meet you, Abdul. I'm gonna go grab a drink or something before the show starts. You want anything?
Yes, of course. Beer.
Beer? Okay.
Yeah.
Skrull will get up, offer a little handshake.
It does the same. You have an opportunity to steal his drink if that's what you want.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Slide of hand.
I just took expertise in this.
All right. Let me check one thing though.
If this goes wrong, I'm fine with this.
Observant.
Damn.
Okay. So,
I'm
So
also
you're
trained
there.
in deception, don't worry.
you're there trying to get his ring, and you see that while you're trying to get away, he actually holds then your hand with the second hand, and he goes like, "Ha ha ha, little fellow, you're trying to steal from me.
No, just appreciating
like
the
you-
fine quality.
I like that you have guts, but please don't make me put them outside of your belly and spread them on the ground."
I'm sure this is a small misunderstanding. I was
Yes.
just admiring the fine quality. The claws get in the way sometimes.
I can completely understand. Have you ever sailed on a ship?
No, always been a landlocked kind of fellow.
Maybe if you try to steal from me again, I will introduce you to the captain. I think he will have something to tell him.
I'm sure I'll steal his heart as well. You said beer, correct?
Well, if only he had a heart. I think you. I think you.
One in everybody. Skrull will shimmy just past him. If he has to go too, he'll go through his legs.
All right. But you see that the lights are dimming and the place is starting to get dark. And Nuada, will you be making the introduction here? What, like the announcement, or?
I would like no. I'd rather give that competent in performing. Honestly, I wouldn't want to risk it. So I'm sure the guy who can make the real organizer of the venue could probably
Harris.
do the introduction.
Okay, very well. Then
I think it would be
unless
best.
somebody else wants, anybody here wants to do the announcement? No takers?
I
Wait, there
can't
is a
announce
taker.
myself. It's not
No,
right.
that doesn't make sense. One person I'm not allowed. Okay. Okay, then I suppose that Harry's Hatch is
Yes.
having promoted the whole thing. So you said basically the whole stage is dark, and then a column of light comes there, and Harry's Hatch is the column of light. You remember, as I described it, middle-aged elf. He's an older man, but still very dressed in very flashy manner, with colorful scarves and very tight pants and with very puffy shirts. And he addresses the crowd and he says, "I've been talking about this young star for the last week, and you know me, Sigil. When I have faith in someone, that someone will for sure become a name that you will be talking about for many, many days to come here in the City of Doors. And so, without further ado, let me introduce to you Chisa Asgali." And, clapping of hands until then the scene once again falls silent. And you tell me about this show. So who is starting?
It begins with the darkness, so it must be Tolan.
Yeah. I would cast the spell during the clapping, not during
Of
the
course.
silence.
Very well. So while they're clapping, you cast darkness spell, right?
Yes.
So the place was already kind of dark, but still people could see a bit through, the shadows and the little candlelight. But when you create your magical light, it's just this sphere, absolute blackness. There is many tiefling and demi-humans among the crowd which could normally pierce the darkness, but not your magical darkness. Apart from that lonely, fiendish warlock. So this complete sphere of darkness appears. There is a raising from the cloud. And what happens next?
Cue illusionary mists.
So coming
Albus is
from
up.
that's Albus? Okay, Albus, what do your mists look like? Anything special about it?
They start out as just an ordinary whitish mist floating in from the edges of the scene, but as they come closer to the center, they become greenish and they start swirling upwards.
And around this sphere of darkness, right? Or
I think the sphere of darkness would be gone by now, but
is it gone? Is it gone by now? I don't know. Yeah.
I was gonna keep it up until Shisa was.
So basically, yeah, there is a sphere in the center, comes from the sides, and they kind of go and enter the darkness.
Yeah.
A bit signifying, the primordial emptiness of non-creation and the forces of creation that comes from the side and go feed. Right? Am I reading your mind here?
Yes.
Okay, very well. Very well.
And Shisa's actually standing, comes up on stage from behind to get into the darkness.
Very well.
And then she begins to throw her voice and begin the story
that many thousands of years ago, when Earth was still but young, in the primordial jungles of Mamadiel, there was once a human queen.
And the story then begins of Queen Azuka and the ancient Yuan-Ti, and the mist will slowly spread, the darkness will begin to fade away, and Shisa presents herself, and the full opera begins. So the rest of it is more like some kind of combination of like an Andrew Lloyd Webber performance and maybe Nightwish or something like that.
All right. So how Atlantic are you dressed?
Oh, I've got bling everywhere. I'm a freaking queen, and I'm using minor illusions to buff up, stay still in place, but to bring illusions of, royal regalia and that sort of thing, and evoke the jungle.
All right. And then start the opera singing.
Yes.
Okay. Like a mix of, Nightwish way, it's opera with then heavy drums and kind of rock-like, epic metal.
Yes.
Okay, very well. So, but how does the crow?
At a certain point, basically, Shisa is looking for a path, because I suppose this is also what you're doing, right? I mean, you're looking for a path, you're progressing, etc., etc. And then, as a mentor figure, the crow appears and extends a hand to show you what your fate is.
And at this point, Shisa continues and says,
"But the queen, she did not know better. And that time, her empire fell, for she did not follow this advice when it was first presented. And the empire faded."
So the raven, when she refused, the raven goes back and stays away, but observes, like from the surroundings of the scene, keeping an eye without intervening, looking at her struggling, and represents itself later on.
So, ignoring the wisdom of the Raven Queen, we explore the downfall of this decadent empire where the Yuan-Ti drove themselves too far into the snake-like form, ignoring the purity of the side of them that is human and the snake. But yet the snake cannot fly.
Yet.
The snake cannot fly.
Okay, excuse me one moment. Are there more special effects coming in? Point from.
I hope so, guys. Come on.
Yes.
When there's dancing, I can send in a dancing light humanoid.
All right, perfect. So basically, with your lights, you can create these effects of crowds dancing.
Well, it's basically like one light human, light-giving human.
Okay, great.
But, yeah.
Obis,
Um,
is
I
it
will
major
make-
image time?
yes.
Oh, really? You could just concentrate on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can concentrate up to 10 minutes. So
Okay.
be done in 10 minutes.
It's different
How many
acts.
times can you cast?
Actually, you have
She said.
14 minutes because that's how many times I can cast.
Okay, yeah, that's good to see.
So suddenly stone pillars appear from the stage and snakes slither around it as Shisa is performing her
Opera.
Epic.
Operatic story, yeah.
Metal opera. Okay. So yeah, so the scenery changed with the telling of the story, with our master always directing emotions, while clearly telling it's the light guy, darkness, light. Scenography always light, technical light, talent. Okay, so yeah, so the Raven was coming back again.
At a certain point, she's ascending again. Once you start ascending when she starts ascending to the realization of her true form, you see like those Raven rings from behind her, maybe like me dancing behind her and accompanying her when she's like ascending on a central pillar.
Okay. So instead of Black Swan, it's like Black Raven.
No, it's all about her spreading her wings. My wings are a metaphor.
Sure. Basically, you are lifting her up. So you are giving her wings.
Not me, the Raven Queen.
The Raven Queen. Yes, you as the
Voilà.
Raven. Yes,
Exactly. Is a new of belief and a more conservative approach of what her race is. Pure blood, tack, and this is what allows her to
Ascend.
ascend.
Okay, very well.
So the story then twists, and it becomes now the story of Shisa, as she realizes that once upon a time in faded memory she was someone else, and that we must recapture the past so that we can take it into the future, because we're not just the sum of our own life, we're the sum of all of them combined. And now the Raven Queen appears again in that sense and offers, like the shadows offer to elevate her, and it's this rousing speech of the Empire would rise again, and the Empire is within all of you, and this experience can be brought forth. You too can relive your past lives in the glorious Empire in a new dawn of shadow.
When she speaks of the new dawn, I'll throw another light effect.
Of course.
The fairy fire to make Shisa glow green.
Okay. Scenery guy.
There will be sounds, a lot of hissing coming from the background, and a kind of really sweet smelling scent starts spreading out.
All 5 stances, okay.
Absolutely.
Sensate
Oh,
every
yes.
Slightly warmer and humid,
Okay.
but not uncomfortably.
Not uncomfortably. What about the scene itself? What does it represent?
Ben, any?
It should be dancing images which evoke both the sensation of ancient this ancient empire mixed with sigil itself, and then mixed with imagery that would evoke an image of Arborea or something.
Okay.
These artists, huh?
Yeah.
With their
It's
requests.
illusion, man. It's magic.
Yes. If only I knew what Arborea was like.
It's a bit like the Feywild.
Ah. Oh wow. Yes. That's.
You should know that.
Easy.
The Feywild.
Yeah. I know the Feywild. I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see like the image of sigil, the circle, the donut, or whatever you want to call it, of sigil, mixed with. It becomes more. It used to be more like a stone structured and such, and now it becomes more forest-like, and it expands and it gets more beautiful.
Basically, the plants are taking over sigil, in a way, covering everything.
Yes, in a
like-
way, but as in a way that everything is in harmony.
Okay, very well. Very well.
A natural order.
Albis. You're the imagery guy, right? Albis, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh god.
Dispel magic.
Is there a motherfucker trying to tamper with the show?
Alright. Nice. Okay, great. Okay, Albis. You're there making your imagery and crafting all these. You almost kind of feel so probably you are there behind the stage directing scenography and you are almost feel like a cold hand creeping out your shoulder and something whispering like, but you cannot get all this without me. And you almost have this feeling that you want from all those plants and buildings and behind summon an image of like a big shadowy cloaked figure that kind of dominated the whole thing. But then you fight against it. You're like, no, this is my thing here. you don't rule here, and you get the shadow away from that image, right? So never you saw it creeping up, but you fought against it, so it didn't happen.
Okay.
And as it leaves, you still hear a bit in your mind a voice like, "You will not resist me for long." And then it kind of leaves. Do you already have a coin, all this?
I don't. No, I don't.
You don't, right? Okay, very well. Then that's fine. That's how it ends.
The 3 people have coins again. Zado.
I do.
Skrok, the show seemed to be going well. People are taken by it. You being there among the crowd are the one that can witness this firsthand. Is there anything you would like to do from the seats, from the crowd, to improve or add to this experience?
People are definitely seeming to be invested, correct?
They seem to be invested. Some of them, they're also a bit confused, which is something they like. Like they don't completely understand what's going on, but all together, it gives you that feeling that, man, I'm not understanding it, so it must be so much smarter than me. So it's better I pretend I understand. Something like that, But you can see in their face some confusion. At the same time, they seem to be willing to get taken by this show. But is there anything you would like to do or add? Or
You know what? I'm going to abandon my original plan, and I kind of just want to go try to divert people from other shows to this one.
My man.
come join the other. Okay, very well. Okay. So basically, you, okay, probably not then at the end of the show, but more
Like kind of like during
at
it.
the middle, yeah. And you go outside, and you see that there is this interpretative dance of lizard folk in another theater, and then there is exposition of ceramic pieces from the fourth age of the Minotaurs, and you go there and you start to say, "Hey, people, you're losing your time here. Come the other way."
Yeah, kind of like, oh, this is nice, but I heard that there was this really good performance going on over here. Like, it's so much like flashier, just kind of like make it sound bigger than it is, but just a little bit.
Okay.
So that when they get there, they might get there kind of towards the climax. So it's like, is this what it's been like the whole time? I've been missing out, kind of thing.
All right, Skrulk, you trying to divert people slight home. Make me either a persuasion or a deception check.
I'll go with deception.
Go for
I'm
it.
actually really good at deception.
Wow. All right.
It's one of my other expertises. In case I get caught doing something stupid, I can lie my way out of it.
Okay. Albus, as the magical scenery guy, you can choose Perform or Arcana.
Sorry, can you?
You can choose as the magical scenery. You can perform Arcana.
Performance or Arcana? Okay. I'll go for performance.
Go for it. Nice. Taling, as the magical lightning, you can choose either performance or Arcana.
I'll go for Arcana.
Go for it.
Ooh.
Nuada, as the dancer, and also how can I say, a bit storytell mastermind of this thing. You can choose either acrobatics or insight. See if you have caught what people really want.
I'll go for acrobatics is better, but insight
But
would make more sense.
You did dance. I mean,
Yeah.
you did all dancing, and you lifted the up. So
Okay, then I'll go for acrobatics.
go for it. All right. And Shisa, as you tell me how this ends, you can of course choose for either. Well, for you it's before.
Yep. So for the final act, I appeal to the audience to seek their place as the new dawn rises and find the serpent within. And as she does this, before she disappears into like the some illusionary fog by Orbis, she actually transforms into a white snake form, and then the snake disappears into the mist and exits the stage.
All right. Let's seal this with a performance check with an advantage.
She.
Oh, why wasn't that advantage? That's
You
weird.
can roll again.
It can't get any worse.
All right.
23 is
So,
not bad. I'm happy with
23
that.
is very good. In fact, if I sum it, we have a higher than 20 in average. Okay, so as the performance ends, there's this moment of absolute silence, and then you see now the first person starts. There is this waterfall of applause and hoots and whistles and people screaming for Shisa, for the scaled raven. They start shouting name, and then the lights appear once again, and you come out and do a bow to the crowd. They start to throw flower in your direction on the stage to the four of you. Skrulk is there among people. Skrulk, you look around you and you see him standing up and what's that? Standing up and clapping. There is a certain pride, in having been part of this. You saw a lot of other people that actually are not eating. They are standing on the sides because these are all the people that you brought in at the last moment, and they're like, "Hey, we're really missing out on stuff here," and so a lot of clapping. The performance was actually a great success, clearly, and as you leave the stage, the clapping backstage. In fact, it's a long time before it begins to die.
We'll have to go out for like the bows and stuff.
Yeah. As long as
Yes.
it continues, we come and we bow like
And
at
you-
least 3 times.
At
If it
least
continues,
3 times.
at
Okay,
least
very well.
3 times. We have to do
Yes.
that.
Clearly, that was a 3 times performance. So you go out 1, 2, 3 times. You bow once again. Skrulk, do you stay there, or do you want to jump on stage?
No, my part's done. I work from the shadows. I'm a roadie. But what I will do,
Yes.
is I will cast the minor illusion.
Okay.
Just to make Shisha seem like she's glowing just a little bit more. Just
She's definitely glowing. All the attention is on the stage. A clap. Any attempt to steal from people will have advantage.
Also, Shisa has no clothes because she was a snake a second ago.
She was a snake, and she came out like Mother
I
Nature.
will strategically place mist around.
Oh.
Shaped
know,
like
the-
snakes with wings.
Yes. Smoke.
I will
Smoke
try to
snakes.
steal a little bit
A little bit. Okay, very well.
because I want to do something else that's a little bit more important. This is just kind of like opportunity, like nicking.
All right.
So, give it a try. 26.
Nice. Okay. Skrulk, you notice this nicely dressed, completely in black, tall woman. Her black dress completely is completely opposite of her skin, which is so white as to be almost luminescent in a way, pearlish. And she's completely bald, but very, very beautiful. In a way, she reminds you a bit of the way an angel would be looking, especially her facial traits. At the same time, it is like a sadness or some sort of depression around her. Well, a lot of details. What you mind is that you managed to steal from her purse, and what you do manage to steal from her purse is some sort of skull-shaped, like obsidian token.
Good thing I don't give a shit about the holy.
Yeah, well, it is actually more than obsidian. It's probably like something like it's a precious stone. It's
Yeah,
also
that's got in my
put
pocket.
in some kind of silvery frame, maybe a platinum frame. For it seems to you that it's a quite expensive version. Also quite specific. It's probably like a custom made for this lady.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's custom made for me now.
It's yours now. That's a fact. Yes.
I'll leave the building like immediately.
All right.
Kind of like go skirt off through some bush, just kind of like near the fence of the perimeter.
All right.
And toss it up and over, so just in case we get searched for whatever reason, it won't be on me. Be up over the fence, kind of like hidden in some bushes.
All right. Okay, that's all the precautions. But okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't getting caught for this shit. Some guy's already on my ass.
All right. Oh, perfectly fine. Okay, so yeah, your pleasures keep going. You probably eventually go backstage to recover stuff. Backstage, there is Haris Hutch and Hanali Web Spinner, the Stansate's Barya or woman. They both congratulate you. Well, Haris hugs you and there with flowers that he gives to you. Then he looks at the other that are also here. He has with him a bottle of the good one. He opens the bottle, he starts giving shots to everyone, and he goes like, I think we are going to have a wonderful future all together. He looks at you, Nwada, and says, I didn't know you had such dancing
My man.
skills. I thought you were just a manager. And then
Well,
he looks
a
at
good
Olbis.
manager should be an artist first.
He looks at Olbis and Tallinn, and he says, "Those were wonderful effects. I mean, I don't know. Do you only work with Shisa? Because I have another couple of, I call them alternative artists. They could really use those things that you are doing."
Yeah, but this is what makes Shisa unique, you know? I mean, since I'm managing this troupe.
He looks at you, Olbis and Tallinn. Like, you wouldn't want to expand a bit your clientele?
I'm not ready to stop
what
my
would it,
adventuring yet.
Money's the last thing. Money's the last thing. I mean, I understand your point of view about adventuring. But I mean,
Except money is the first thing.
I completely understand. He says, "Well, you know what? Today it's day to party. We don't have to
Yes.
discuss business right now."
So
An alley web spinner is also there, and she approaches you, Shisa, and she says, "It was a wonderful performance, and I am happy to have given you this chance, and I'm even happier." And she says that she hugs you with her humanoid part, as her goat part claps on the ground. She hugs you, and it's a joy for me to welcome you into the society of sensation.
Sensational.
Sensation. Okay, very well. And you actually do feel immediately a sort of a change inside of you, and a sort of a connection with this other person that is also a sensei.
I feel something.
It's
Yeah, I can.
I will give you the details of what it would be a sensate out of game, unless maybe people in stream want to know too. No, yeah, why not? Huh?
Is this the faction ability?
That's the faction ability. Maybe if you know them already, tell them.
So that would be the sensate restriction, hone senses, and sensory touch.
Correct. Okay, so for the people watching us, of course, in the Dungeon Master Guide there are some rules to belong to a faction. In the more normal terms, this means for the Forgotten Realms Spain, the Harpers or the Tarin or the Emerald, whatever they're called, Conclave. In Sigil, there is this great opportunity to apply these rules to the great factions that rule in Sigil. The difference will be that, so while you adventure in Sigil, Shisa, and all the others, if you perform missions for the Sensei, or if you do things that are related to the Sensei live in, you will grow in rank with your faction. You will acquire the rank points. Huh? Now that you have joined the Sensei, you'll have rank 1.
Mm-hmm.
Rank 1 gives you, as you were about to say, some abilities and a little restriction, right?
Precisely.
Precisely. So what will happen now for you specifically is, where are the sensei? Here. So the little restriction will be that if you reject a potential new experience that is not clearly harmful, then you will not be able to gain inspiration until you atone or otherwise prove yourself to your faction cause. So you're becoming a yes girl. At the same time, you will get a couple of nice bonuses. First of all, you will gain dark vision 60 feet, or in case you already have it, will double the range of your dark vision. And you also gain proficiency in one of these skills of your choice: insight, investigation, or perception. You can choose one.
And since I already am proficient in investigation and perception, it will be insight.
I guess it will be insight. Okay. And then you get this ability called sensory touch. So if you get inspiration during a session, you can use it to touch a creature during a minute of quiet reflection. And this touch will transfer one of your hit dice or hit points to the target as you open to their pain, experiencing a brief vision of how they perceive their wounds. This goes up with your level, as indicated in the rules. Yes,
Cool.
that would be the crunch part of it. I'm hoping in the future maybe other people join either the same faction or factions and explore these two. Clearly, next session we'll be exploring the Faded more in detail. So the night ends with the after party, where you will be meeting other art members of the Society of the Station. We can actually maybe also explore this next time, or we can skip it, depend what you wish to do. I think on this note, this party, we could actually Shisa and the party have performed what for now is their Magnus Opus, because they're only Opus. Will there be more shows? Will they improve what they have done? Will they retire from a career of adventuring for a career or of performing? We do not think so. Shadowtron does not think so. But what will the future have in store for us? We will only know in the next episode of Tales from the Yawning Portal, an epic campaign by all of you. This is where we are going to stop tonight. We didn't fight. We can do this. We can be a role-playing game. We can do this when we want to, when we set our minds to. Thank everyone who has watched us. This was a bit of a different session from the other times. I hope you enjoyed this too. Is there anything anybody wants to say before I say goodbye to everyone?
No,
Thanks
we'll be
for
back.
watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It was fun. Good game.
Yeah, it was,
We'll
lots
be
of
back
fun
on
to
Monday with the Princess of the Apocalypse, the next episode. Mostly the same group, so aside from Davida, who will be back with us in 2 weeks' time for our next session of Tales of the Yawning Portal. To check out what else is on the channel, hit the events tab, and you can see what else we have going this week. I can just check it quickly to see if there's anything, but there's usually DDO tomorrow night, and then loading in. Looks like we have. Oh no, that's not until next week. So yeah, it's DDO this week, and then also Monday, I believe. So have a great
Very
week,
well.
everyone, and we'll see you then.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.